Hello everyone, welcome to another video, and also happy New Year's, just in case, it might be a little late, but whatever. So yeah, I am going to be doing a tier list to end off, which will be ranking all Godzilla films. Now, I just want to let you know, if this starts lagging, it's because I'm doing this on my laptop. Because if I do this on computer, it would be super laggy because I have like those very old work computers. So yeah, sorry, I'm just not born with a gifted life, I guess. But anyways, if you may have noticed, we have a selection called Does Not Count. That's where I'm going to be putting Godzilla 1998 and the anime trilogies. Technically, Godzilla 1998 does count. I'm just too lazy to watch the film. I actually did try to give the film a try, but I got into, I guess, the first 15 minutes and was like, okay, screw it. And never got back to continuing it again. You guys can let me know in the comments if I should continue watching Godzilla 1998. Anyways, without wasting time, let's just get into it, because there's a ton of Godzilla films. So yeah, let's just try and make this short. So let's start off with, of course, the classic, Godzilla 1954. And honestly, what kind of Godzilla fan would I be if I did not put this on a G tier? I mean, this is literally one of the best Godzilla films. It's horrific, the Godzilla design is good, even though some people complained about how he looks in the front in Odo Island. That was actually one of the scenes that scared me as a child. So I really didn't mind it, but yeah, whatever. Great film, deserves a G tier, and yeah, rage again. Now I was gonna put this on B tier a little bit because it was a sequel, so it was kind of a sequel to Godzilla 1954. So I find it a bit mid, but honestly, after thinking, I want to put it on A tier. It's a very underrated film. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, yeah, it may be terrible because it's a different kind of film. The human characters are not memorable at all. You can check out my review and um yeah, you can check out my review. So anyway, yeah, it's it's a good film, and it's actually the more terrifying film in my opinion. Anyways, next up, King Kong vs. Godzilla, another film I've grown up with. It deserves an A tier. Now, I'm pretty sure some people don't like it because it's not as horrific as the other two, or it's just very outdated considering we have this film. But honestly, I really didn't mind it. I actually enjoyed it. And yeah, the Godzilla suit design, probably one of my favorites. King Kong, oh my god, King Kong just looks so ugly. Like, I don't know what they did with King Kong, but they did not make him look nice, I'll say that. Anyways, Mothra vs. Godzilla. Honestly, one of the okay kinds. It's not a bad film. I mean, it's pretty good, has some good plot, and it's pretty memorable a bit. The Godzilla design is alright. Mothra looks very ugly, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, whatever. And next up, Ghidorah the Free Monster. Now, originally I was gonna put it in B tier, saying it's a bit mid, but honestly, after thinking, actually no, yeah, it's gonna stay B tier. I mean, it's pretty good, even though it has a ton of filler until it gets to the final battle, and the final battle is probably the more hilarious part. And with Godzilla and Rodan, it's also hilarious, but I still enjoyed it. And next up, Invasion of Astro Monster. Now, I know some people didn't like this film that much, but I honestly kind of enjoyed it because it introduces the aliens. It has Godzilla dancing, and it's a pretty good film. I mean, it's not that good, but like it's not G tier worthy, but it's pretty good. Next up, Ebora Horror of the Deep. Yeah, this film sucks. Now, originally I was going to put it in B tier or C tier, thinking it was alright. It was pretty good, I guess. But honestly, after watching the film, I just said, yeah, this is way boring. So yeah, it deserves it. Son of Godzilla. Oh boy. I know some of y'all don't like this film, but honestly, this is an A tier for me. I mean, yes, Manila sucks and the Godzilla design is a bit ugly, but honestly, that's why I like the Godzilla design so much. The fact that he's so freaking hideous. And I know some people would say I have a controversial take because I like the Godzilla design because he's ugly. And yeah. But then again, I think the Godzilla 1954 design is one of the more better designs, and the Godzilla Rage Again design is the most terrifying design Godzilla's have. So in a way, you should have kind of expected that I would like the Godzilla design in this film. But anyways, Destroy All Monsters. And you guys are probably also not going to like this, but I honestly find it to be one of the mid kind of films. Oh, there we go. Sorry, lag. But, yeah, I find it to be on the more mid side of the films. I mean, the final battle was good, again, like, Ghidorah the Freedom Monster, but it's also the same as Ghidorah the Freedom Monster, where it kind of sucks a bit because of the human scenes. But it's also the same kind of human scenes with Invasion of Astro Monster, where it seems a bit good, but not fully. But yeah, Godzilla's Revenge. We can all agree this does not deserve any tier higher than a D. We can all agree. Gabriel may be a good villain. He's not he's not as bad as people think. He's actually a pretty good villain, even though he's supposed to represent a bully. It's still pretty solid for a monster. But yeah, the film sucks. I don't know why I think it was one of the more on this top when I was a child. Probably because I was a child, that's why I like it so much, but I'm pretty sure that's the whole point of it. It wasn't made for adults, so of course I wasn't going to enjoy it that much. However, I can't say the same for Godzilla vs. Ghidorah. I honestly enjoyed this film that much. I know some people find it a bit on the mid or forgettable side because, yeah, it's pretty weird. I do know there are some weird scenes, but I honestly enjoyed it. I like Ghidorah. If it's a she, I'll just say it's a it. Ghidorah is a good kind of monster, a pretty disgusting monster considering it's made of pollution. But yeah, I like Ghidorah that much. It's one of my favorite monsters. But anyways, yeah. And also Godzilla flying is one of the more iconic scenes, and I like it too. It also proves that Showa Godzilla defies gravity. Yeah, but anyways, continuing on, Godzilla vs. Gigan, it's also in the D tier. The final battle scene wasn't really that much of a good thing to me a bit. I did like how Godzilla talked, I guess. It sounds a little creepy in the English dub, but not that much in the Japanese version, I think. I don't want to rewatch it. But I do like the fact of Godzilla Funland as well. But yeah, I just wasn't that much of a fan of it. And also the villains are cockroaches. Wait. What? You're telling me there's a Godzilla film that has aliens or villains that are cockroaches? Yeah, there's no way this is scoring anywhere higher than a D tier. Wait a minute. You know what? Let's just continue. Um, Godzilla vs. Megalon. It wasn't really that much of a Godzilla film, let's be honest. It's more of a Jaguar film. But honestly, I'll put it on the mid tier. I was gonna put it in the D, but I'll put it on the mid because I kind of enjoyed it as a kid. But uh, and but it wasn't really that good. But I did like the final battle scene, and Megalon's also one of my favorite monsters. And no, I have not seen any of the new 2023 video themes, whatever it was. Where Megalon had a huge upgrade, I know that. And yeah, it's a pretty good design, to be honest. But anyways, let's just continue. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. It's an A tier. It's not that bad of a film. It's pretty good, but yeah, it does have some. It's just kind of like the same for Godzilla vs. Gigan. However, I find it a bit more enjoyable. The aliens are a little bit iconic and pretty good to be, but not as good as the Exilians. And also the Mechagodzilla theme and the Mechagodzilla design. It's just amazing. I like this Mechagodzilla theme, but it's not my favorite Mechagodzilla theme. But anyways, next up is. Listen, I'm sorry to some people that like Terror Mechagodzilla, but just no. Just no. I mean, it's not that bad of a film, but it's just not that film for me. And yeah, anyways, time for the Hissite era, which some of y'all might hate my opinion on the Hissite era, considering I made a video about why I think the Hissite era is overrated. So you guys can skip me voting on the Hissite era if you're not gonna like how I think of it. So anyways, let's start off with Godzilla 1984. And Godzilla 1984 is one of the better Hissai movies. It's not that good, I'll be honest, where it's a G tier, but it's also a pretty great film. But anyways, next up is Godzilla vs. Biollante. Yeah, I'll just put it in C tier. And Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. This might be a hot take, but it's also a C tier. I'm not gonna lie. The CGI and the graphics in this is pretty outdated, which is probably the reason why I don't like this. Because I was born in 2018, so 2010's CGI and graphics is what I grew up with. But also with 2000 stuff as well. But the 1990s and stuff like that, I just never grew up with it. Or it's the fact that it just looks like something from a cheap sci-fi film. But anyways, yeah, Godzilla vs. Mothra, it's more of the downside. It's not that bad. Mothra and Batro are pretty good. Listen, I don't know if Legendary will see this. Let's be honest, Legendary will not see this. But if they do, for some miracle, I would like Legendary Studios to make a MonsterVerse film about Mothra, and have the main villain be Batra. How amazing would that be? Seeing Batra in the MonsterVerse, that would be amazing. Or maybe Batra could appear in the new Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire film. Although I feel like Mothra is just going to appear as some sort of cameo or to help out. But yeah, anyways, next up we have Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. Now, I was going to put in A tier, however, I just wanted to move it down to B tier. It's not that bad of a film. It's a little bit boring, but pretty good. I actually heard that Godzilla had the most amount of screen time in this film. I'm not sure that's true, but I heard it, so whatever. Anyways, yeah, it's pretty good. The world design is one of my least favorite. The Godzilla design is alright, and Mechagodzilla's design is also a bit meh for me, but Mechagodzilla's theme. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but Mechagodzilla's theme in this film is my favorite theme. Like, even as a kid, Mechagodzilla's theme, Super Mechagodzilla's theme, and Mechagodzilla's theme from 1974 are both songs I listened to when I was younger. However, I listened to Super Mechagodzilla's theme way more because it was just that good. But anyways, enough of my opinion. Let's continue on. Oh boy, how do I say this? Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla is oh god, I can already feel the comment section attacking me. Now you might be saying, "Oh my god, why would you put Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla in F tier? You're not a true Godzilla fan." Listen, while Space Godzilla is a good um monster, I will say that the amount of human scenes in there and the filler and stuff sucks. Not only that, but the soundtrack also sucks in my opinion. To be honest, it's not that I haven't listened to it mostly because I just wasn't a big fan of the soundtrack. So there's really nothing saving this film. So it's getting an F tier. I'm sorry, y'all. Now, the only good thing about Space Godzilla was his crystal form and the version of the character himself. And the final battle is a bit okay, but other than that, there's nothing else to say this film, so it's an F tier. I'm sorry, y'all. However, while Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla is an F tier, Godzilla vs. Destroyer is a G tier. Let's be honest. Godzilla vs. Destroyer is just one of those films. It's not better than Gojira, if I'm being honest, but it's a pretty good film. Burning Godzilla is is tied with being my favorite Hisai design. Like like my two favorite designs in the Heisei era is Burning Godzilla and Godzilla from 1991. I like the 1991 design mostly because of his intimidating expression on his face. And I don't know why people don't like this design just because he has a pointy head. Like, bro, it's just one flaw. That doesn't ruin the whole design. But anyways, yeah. And also, Destroyer is the best villain. Fight me. And also, yeah, this is also the saddest scene in Godzilla's history because that's where Godzilla dies. I actually heard they had a funeral for Godzilla. So until later on, Godzilla had a reboot with Godzilla 1998, and I've heard it's trash. So yeah, so I'm gonna speed up the process with my favorite era ever, the Millennium Era, and we're starting off with Godzilla 2000. It's pretty good. It's not that bad, but it's also not good either. It's just actually, yeah, that makes it more of a C tier. Like, it's not bad, but it's not good. Actually, no, it's gonna be a B tier. And Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, I can't say the same. It's an F tier. I'm sorry, y'all. I just can't. However, there were some parts that I did like. Megaguirus is an okay kind of villain. The final battle was pretty good, and some of the songs, a little bit of the songs were good. I liked how, I think I don't know how to pronounce her or his name, but I think the composer for Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla is the one for Tokyo SOS and Against Mechagodzilla. I don't know. But anyways, GMK, this is an A tier. It's a very good film. It has Godzilla being evil, but instead of killing with a reason, this Godzilla kills without reason. And that's good. That's why I like -1. Anyways, yeah. And this is also the first film to have Ghidorah be a good guy. That's how you know Godzilla is so evil. It's to the point that they had to make Ghidorah a good guy. Like, that's just pure evil villainy. But anyways, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. It's a B tier. It's not that bad of a film. It's pretty good. I like it. The Godzilla did amazing. Kiryu is the best Mechagodzilla. Yes, it is. Fight me. But yeah. Anyways, Godzilla against Mothra against Mechagodzilla Tokyo SOS, whatever his name is. Godzilla Tokyo SOS. Let's just go with that. Godzilla Tokyo SOS. This is an A tier. I really like it. The plot, the characters, Mothra, the soundtrack, the scenes, the sad part where Kiryu and Godzilla head back into the ocean. It's just an amazing film. Anyways, next up is it is that film. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but Godzilla Final Wars is just that film. I love it. Everything about it. The human characters, the plot, the story, Godzilla, the monster designs, the soundtrack, the fighting, the action. it's just so perfect for me. Sure, it may have a little flaws, but I still see it as a perfect film, and it's still amazing. It may not be the best Godzilla film, obviously, but it is the best Godzilla film in my heart. But anyways, yeah, Godzilla 2014, controversial take, but controversial take, but ever since can ever since 2019, the MonsterVerse has been going downhill, and I really liked Godzilla 2014. It's actually one of my better films, probably because I've grown up with Godzilla 1954, King Kong vs. Godzilla, and Godzilla 2014. But I really liked it. And since it was the first American Godzilla film to ever be made that actually had Godzilla, looking at you, Godzilla 1998, it's just no surprise that at the time it was like everywhere. Like, I literally had a toy of it. I do have a DVD too. I don't have the NECA nor SH Monster Arts version, nor the Jack's Pacific 12-inch figure. I think that's what, if it's that big, it's probably 24 inches. I don't know. It's a very tall Godzilla toy by Jack's Pacific. I know that. But I don't have any of those. But I do want to get them. I don't plan on getting the NECA Godzilla 2014. Especially the 24-inch one. Or the 12-inch one. I think it's a 12-inch actually. But anyways. Yeah, I don't plan on getting the NECA. I want to get the SH Monster Arts version. Now, I know a lot of people don't like it because the sculpt is stylized and the derpy eyes and all that, and the joint connections and the joint tolerances being so easily to pop off. However, the stylized sculpt actually reminds me of the Godzilla PS4 Godzilla 2014 design, which it might be a hot take, but Godzilla PS4 game is the best PlayStation game ever. It's even better than Spider-Man. Yes, I said it. Come at me. But yeah. Anyways, let's continue on. Shin Godzilla. It's a bit mid. I don't know why they called it Shin Godzilla. I mean, in Japanese, Shin is supposed to be new, which does kind of make sense because Godzilla's being a new kind of form every second, but it's only for 3 times. So yeah, they should have called it Business Godzilla. Like, I mean, it's just Godzilla walking around, and all you see is just a bunch of business guys trying to figure out what Godzilla is doing, how to stop him, and then they stop him. Like, that's the whole point. It should have been Business Godzilla, not New Godzilla. But, yeah, anyways, oh god. Godzilla King of the Monsters. Hot take, but I'm gonna put in a B tier. Like, it's not that bad of a film. It's a good film. However, it could have done better. The human characters should have done better. Besides Dr. Serizawa, he was the best one. Godzilla didn't have to be treated like shit. I'm gonna say it as I'll just say sheet. Yeah, that'll work. Godzilla didn't deserve to be treated like sheet in this film. And also hot take, but I do think Godzilla actually wins against Ghidorah if Ghidorah wasn't saved by the oxygen destroyer and never had that convenient power station. And it was pretty much to the point that Godzilla had to beat Ghidorah's plot armor with plot armor. And what ticks me off is that they only focus on Godzilla having plot armor. Like, Ghidorah had plot armor too, and also the action is way boring compared to 2014. I know 2014 had some cutoff times, but at least it wasn't that bad. King of the Monsters, on the other hand, you guys need to stop interrupting fights 24/7. Thank God Michael Dargery did not direct GVK. And speaking of GVK. And this did way better, honestly. I was gonna say it was worse than King of the Monsters, but then I said no. The Godzilla design did better, the plot was better, even though the main characters were a bunch of hypocrites and just kind of sucked. The side characters actually made up for the film, unlike King of Monsters, where all the characters can just die and I wouldn't care at all. But the soundtrack is a bit meh on Godzilla vs. Kong. It just seemed like there was no clear theme. Mechagodzilla deserved a better theme, I'm not gonna lie. Like, he deserved a better theme. They could have done for a remake of Super Mechagodzilla's theme, or just have a new theme entirely, but he did not deserve a Godzilla kind of like theme. I don't know. But anyways, Godzilla Singular Point. I know some people don't really like it that much, and I can see why. They just don't understand it that much. But I'm pretty much the only one that possibly understands the show. And also, if you know, Godzilla Ultima is actually the strongest Godzilla ever because he scales at universe level. Which, if you don't know, basically Godzilla is a singular point. The singular point keeps growing to the point where he's able to destroy the universe himself. I think he can also terraform land, and he can teleport to dimensions. Ultima next at his cycle powder. But anyways, yeah, let's just continue. Monarch. Now, I can't give a clear opinion on the show, mostly because there's only 8 episodes and it's not fully done yet. However, so far, it's a pretty good show. Like, it captures the feel of Godzilla 2014 with the whole mystery kind of vibe, which is why I like the show a bit much. But it's not that good, but it's pretty good. Anyways, last up, Godzilla -1. And let's be honest, it deserves a G tier. It's just that good of a film. And here's my final list. We have the G tier, and we have all the A tiers. We have the B tiers. We have the C tiers, the D tiers, the F tiers, and the tier where I haven't seen any of these films, and I'm not gonna count them. So yeah. Of course, some of y'all are not gonna like my opinion, obviously, but I mean, it's an opinion, and it's for a video, so whatever. You guys can have whatever opinion you want on the films, but yeah. Anyways, to make sure this is not a super long video, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video, which might be the next year. Anyways, bye.